Charles, something actually really important happened that I forgot to bring it up during the YouTube segment, but you and I have discussed it and somebody just mentioned it on Twitter. So I had filed a motion to enter Signalgate as an amicus to explain that this plaintiff, American Oversight, which is a 501c3, is engaged in politically partisan activity. It's existed since 2017. And although it says it's a legal advocacy group to protect democracy, it's only ever sued Donald Trump and people working for the Donald Trump administration. So I really don't think that they could argue that it adheres to the politically non-partisan aspect that they are legally required, in anything that they do. So I entered this motion. The judge didn't put it on the docket. I was thinking about this morning. This motion that is now on the docket, this was a 59E motion, a motion seeking reconsideration, and he's granting my motion for reconsideration. I was thinking about this, Charles. I've basically gone to the chief judge in federal court in Washington, D.C., and I've said, bro, you're out of whack. And he was forced to admit that I was right. So now tomorrow or Tuesday, this amicus brief ostensibly will be docketed. Now, I don't think this judge has suddenly seen the light and will, adhere to justice now. But I mean, I'm explaining that on March 30th, I submitted a well-reasoned motion seeking leave to file an amicus brief addressing government transparency, a core issue in this case, and questioning the legal standing of American Oversight. On April 1st, through an abnormal procedure, the court denied the request without docketing the motion, noting only leave to file denied. Jason Goodman motion. This document is unavailable as the court denies the filing. While it is inarguably within the court's discretion to deny a motion seeking leave, the non-standard and undefined process used in doing so here bypassed critical constitutional and procedural standards and infringed upon undeniable rights by failing to first docket the motion. As Larry Klayman once told me to do, Charles, I've shoved it up his ass.
Oh, boy.
And it went.
And I haven't had breakfast yet.
Sorry. But Larry did tell me to do that years ago, and I was like, what are you talking about? Now I know.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Good for you.
So you were saying at the top, or the bottom rather, of the last thing, we were talking about how the FBI was ignoring all this extremely obvious evidence of Clinton malfeasance.
Yeah, it's a charade. I mean, the name, it says clearly on the instructions to the relevant forms that you need to use the legal name of the organization when you, in the line, it's one of the first lines in the front page of the annual report to the IRS, it says name of organization. And in the instructions, it says put in the legal name of the organization. And if you're doing business as names, add those names. So you, in parentheses, so you say the William J. Clinton Presidential Foundation, and then in parentheses, AKA, stealing money for the Clinton family disguised as a charity, in parentheses, but or whatever the fake name of all these initiatives and everything else that they began to multiply in 2001, precisely as the Clinton Foundation, as Bill adjusted to life in his post-presidency, for every minute, virtually almost every minute of his post-presidency through 2005, the Clinton Foundation was under investigation by the FBI. There are now 4 batches of documents up on the FBI vault. They are kind enough to tell us the documents that they omitted. These documents are heavily redacted. It should be a trivial matter for Kash Patel or somebody deputized by Kash Patel or by Dan Bongino to get that file, get it together, unredact it, discover whether there are any documents that are in other types of files that shouldn't really exist. I think there are 4. Yeah, 4. And you can look at, as we've done before, you can look and see, you notice it says William J. Clinton Foundation is the name of this thing. Now, this file I'm not sure when it was uploaded by the FBI. I think it was beginning in 2016, right around the time of the election. These files started being uploaded. But William J. Clinton Foundation has never lawfully existed, ever. The name was changed April 25th, 2005. There was, in theory, a board meeting on that date. There was a filing made, a fraudulent filing made by Bruce Lindsay, who had no authority to file anything, claiming that he was a presiding director of something that didn't exist, that didn't have bylaws. But ever since that date, this thing has had no legal authority to exist. None. It didn't have bylaws, didn't have articles. People on its behalf had entered into long-term agreements with the National Archives, with the city of Little Rock, with lenders, and then across the world with multiple locations, doing business as operations ostensibly connected to this Clinton Foundation. We're taking money, spending money, stealing money, routing money to Democrats, protecting donors, protecting the Clintons. And all of this mushroomed under the 4-year period from February 2001 to a date unknown in 2005 when the FBI was investigating this. So what was the FBI really doing? And who were the people involved? One of the persons was James Comey. Another was Robert Mueller.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean, they're protecting all this, obviously. So let me ask you something that I know everybody is thinking. Don't you find it extremely problematic that Dan Bongino and Kash Patel have been in there for weeks and haven't said anything about this? I know you would never take a position like this, Charles, but let's imagine in a hypothetical world, you have just been made director of the FBI. I am deputy director of the FBI. Would we be waiting around for a month doing nothing with this?
I don't know that they've done nothing is the issue. I see several people with government experience tweeting out and saying, listen, it takes a certain amount of time to put indictments together, to get grand juries to do things. These are very powerful people we're going against. They will have tough law firms representing them. Meetings with these type of people take time to arrange. I mean, I could believe it might take 90 to 180 days to get Hillary Clinton into prison, right? I mean, or even a bit longer, frankly, because
Trump
the
hasn't
people
said anything about it.
Right. Well, that's a good sign.
Is it?
Yeah, because you don't want the president. Obama, for example, in 2016, when there were serious questions about Hillary Clinton, and when there were active FBI investigations into the Clinton Foundation from at least 4 field offices that we know about, Barack Obama opened his pie hole, this genius, this walking incarnation of the cross between Jesus Christ, Mahatma Gandhi, and the Prophet Muhammad, as the chief law enforcement officer of the country. He basically opened his pie hole and said, I don't think Hillary did anything wrong. That's outrageous. The president can't weigh in on a pending criminal matter involving a former member of his